Hi, this is Stuart Shumway. I'm going to make a claim that immediate feedback helps students shorten the learning cycle. And rather than defend that, I'll assume that there are people that accept that, and we'll work on showing you how to make that happen in your class. So retakes allow students to master concepts. So an opportunity to redo something until they attain some level of competency. And providing the correct answer to a quiz prior to a retake means that we need to have new questions. So let's make 5,000. Can we do that? Is that possible? I would say yes, and let me show you how. So I have a question written in Canvas. If I edit that, I'm going to go to the HTML editor because I've written the table in HTML code, and so I can just use that table over and over for different things. Anything I want to do with a table in it, I can just use that one and change labels or whatever. So I'm going to highlight those and copy those. Now I'm going to, got to cancel this edit. So I'm going to add a question. I'm in quizzes, and then okay, so let's go to quizzes first. In quizzes, instead of making a quiz, what I do is I manage question banks, and then I use those banks to make quizzes later. And so I have this bank called two-way frequency tables, and I have a bunch of questions in it. Well, I want to add a new question. And now my question is going to change a little bit. That last one was percentage of animals that were male, and this one's going to be percentage of animals that are deer. And we're going to change the type of question to formula question. Now I'm going to paste what I copied from the other one. Oops. I'm going to put that into the HTML editor mode first. That might work without doing that, but I'll just show you how it should be done. So let's pretend like we have, so right now, if I click on HTML editor, then it's in HTML editor mode, and then I can paste it there. And then when I go back to the rich context editor, now it converts that to a table. So we can still have, okay, so we have these variables for the number of bull elk that we saw, for the number of buck deer that we saw, the number of cow elk, and the number of does. So the default is have all of those variables range from 1 to 10, and we could maybe range from 2 to 5 on elk, maybe 3 to 8. Oops. 3 to 8 on bucks, and maybe the elk went from 11 to 20, and maybe we saw does anywhere from 25 does to 50 does while we were out hiking. So that's the range. It's going to choose a number in that range to make its first calculation. So I need to change the question itself. So the question itself, instead of saying what percent, the percentage of animals that were males, we want the percentage of animals were deer. So that changes the equation. So the percentage of deer would be does plus bucks. Divide that by all of the animals. That would be the does plus the bucks plus the bulls plus the cow elk. And that will be a decimal, so we'll multiply by 100 to get it into a percentage. So I don't need decimal places. Also, I'll leave that at 0 decimal places. And I'll click on save. So it says 63% of the animals we saw were deer, using 4, 5, 18, and 33. Okay, so we've made one quiz question. How are we going to get 5,000? Well, let's make 20 similar to that, and let's allow 5% answers to be correct if they're within 5%. So if I click on generate, it just made me 20 questions just like that. So when a student takes that question, gets that question again, it will have different numbers. And his neighbor will have different numbers when he's taking it, so it makes it very difficult to cheat from a neighbor. Anyways, that's one way you can make 5,000 questions in a year as you're going through, and they'll all be ready for next year. That means you'd only have to make write about 2 questions a day, and then just multiply your efforts by 20 or whatever factor you want, and you have thousands.